not that it's the same thing or in the same category, but you obviously also have another larger than life character in the band with your frontman, who's one of the more familiar faces in the world of metal. People that know the band very well know obviously the contributions in the band to the music and the style and the vision of yourself and some other people. But is that then also a bit of having a blessing that you've got like a guy like Corpsegrinder to be that lightning rod for all the attention, so you don't have to worry about that too much?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because that's it's I'm a little I wouldn't say introverted. I mean, here I am doing an interview and everything, but he really likes to share with the public. Like, he'll share a lot of personal photos and things like that, and he's just really a fun to be around guy, and that shows. He shows that off. I'm probably a little more dry. I don't know if anything I share to be that interesting. It's like, yeah, here's my tent where I'm camping or whatever. Like, people don't really, that's not going to be very interesting to anyone. So, I mean, unless you also camp, I guess. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that George is just the kind of guy who's, he does interesting, fun stuff or whatever, or things that he wants to share with people, like he's comfortable doing that. And the larger than life thing, it's just sort of, it's not something he's trying to do. It's just who he is. He's got an outgoing personality. And I think that's important for a frontman. They need to be that way. Like, I think unless it's also a bass player who sings, I would say that bass players and singers generally do have a different personality type on the average. Not always, but like there's, the more outgoing ones are usually going to be the singers, if you're just using those two positions in a band as example. So George is great, and I'm glad he's like that, because if he were like me, then like there would be a lot less social. Yeah, he's a very, very important part of the band, as a frontman always is, or should be. It's as a team.
Has that also allowed you to really flourish in the areas that you want to focus on? Because you've been able to, you could focus 100% on the writing and the playing, because over the years now, that you don't have to worry too much about co-building that image or what have you. Was that a necessary element for the band to also keep going so long?
It certainly didn't hurt. Like, everybody does their part. We're a team, and everyone's important. And I think that's the best kind of bands are really the ones where every band member's name, and that they each do something important in the band, even if one of them seems more prominent. It's not there's nobody faceless in our band, where some bands, there's one really important guy and the other guys might even not be full members of the band, things like that. That's fine if it works for those other bands, but for us, I think we always admired bands that were a great team, like Iron Maiden. Everybody always knew the name of everybody in Iron Maiden.
Right.
And they were all really important, and I think that's what metal fans usually like, as a band that's a good team. So George, for sure, he is the front man, and he handles the front man stuff great on and off stage. He's just really outgoing guy who's willing to share a lot of himself. And like you said, for me, it gives me a chance. You kind of have to do those things. Someone in the band needs to be kind of putting himself out there to help promote the band and get the word out about the band. And I will do that a little bit with interviews like this, but I really find what I enjoy so much really is just creating music, working on the music, writing new songs, and then getting out there and performing it.